Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to videos of the paid request. This time for James. Thank you so much for that. For those interested to request any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And James wanted me to react to this about 39-minute, I guess, the Irate Gamer responding to the Archfiend about Angry Video Game Nerd and more. So I guess, for those who don't know, of course you know James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, started off on YouTube as the Angry Nintendo Nerd. He did a couple videos, they got very popular, and more people come out of the ether of YouTube to do their own video game stuff. More so, angry reviews. You had one of my favorites, Army21, which sadly, he's passed away. You had the Urinating Tree, you had Spoony One, you had Silent Rob. You have a lot of these guys coming out of the woodwork. Most of them I did enjoy. Then you had the Irate Gamer, who just came out of nowhere, and his first couple of videos seemed like they completely ripped off James. Like, he did a video on, I think it was Ninja Turtles. It felt like the exact same review. He did one on Super Mario Bros. 2, which I thought was not that good of a review. And I never liked the Irate Gamer. I thought his delivery of his anger felt very phony, felt very forced, felt a lot more like acting angry. There were lines of dialogue that he would say that was almost strictly like AVGN, verbatim. And for some reason he got like super popular and got a lot of subscribers. Now, I don't know what this response will be, but unless it's, hey, yeah, I ripped him off, I apologize. If it's not that, then I'm probably not going to like this, because I never liked the guy. Nothing against him personally, but just his... He did have production value, like he did a Chippendales one, where it looked like Chippendales were on the controller playing with him. I guess compared to others, like he would use special effects and stuff like James did. But to me, the Irate Gamer, he didn't have his own style, he didn't have his own voice. And like I said, his acting felt very fake, very phony, very artificial, and never was a fan of his. Never liked his stuff. So that's just me, though. But they get into it. I did look a little bit into this. The Archfiend said that the hate on Irate Gamer was a bit over the top. People should calm down. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if a lot of people really talk about the Irate Gamer anymore. Even then some... Yeah, he was ripping off James. He clearly was. But we'll see how this goes. I'm pausing the beginning. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to steal the video. And if you want to watch it, I have the link down below in the info box. You want to hit that when you're on your computer, have another window, another tab, follow along with me, feel free. Again, I just don't want to steal a video that I didn't have permission to. Also, YouTube's copyright is very wonky and like to pick and choose. So with that said, 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Archfiend made a video of him about some that hate this. So it is Archfiend that defended the guy. Which is probably the only reason why he did a response video. Yeah, you talk about it now because that whole thing has kind of died down. People doing reviews and having effects and being a character. Because nowadays people just do streaming. They stream video games. They do Let's Plays, and that's more of the common thing now. Just people could put a lot of work into scripting and doing stuff, and a lot of people don't get a lot of views. You got your start because you saw James and said, "Let me copy him." I do remember he did the Haunted Investigator Ghost Hunting show. Then no one was really watching. People didn't really care. Yeah, they weren't getting a lot of views. Angry reviews of old video games. Yeah, like the Angry Nintendo Nerd, like James Wolfe. Now I get that you want to do reviews of video games. I have no problems with that. Nothing wrong with being inspired by that. But it's the fact that he talked like James and a lot of the dialogue seemed the same. Your thought was to get popular and do collabs with them? You didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. But you did with James. So someone asked, someone asked James what do you feel about all the people that are kind of doing these angel reviews. He's like, oh, that's fine. Just James is not a confrontational guy. Far from it. Some would say to a detriment, but he's not a confrontational guy at all. So March 2007. So let's do Back to the Future. Some stuff he borrowed from other reviews because I didn't know what to do. Have your own voice. Have your own voice. Same vein of what James was doing. Almost the same, just not as good. So he did do Waldo and Goonies, and people really hadn't done much of those at that time, to be fair. I just didn't think his videos were that entertaining. Maybe he's a nice guy, though. I mean, maybe he's a nice guy. That's cool. Like I said, nothing personal about the guy. I know it sounds like it, but So there's an Out Nerd the Nerd contest. Someone in Game Trail's emailing you should enter this contest, Out Nerd the Nerd, where you send your videos in. So you submit the videos to Out Nerd the Nerd. So apparently the Out Nerd the Nerd was, I just act like the nerd and even more so. So that's why he was mimicking it, if that's the case. It was, but Out Nerd the Nerd, was it really to copy James that they won the contest? Or something else? The contest was rigged. Interesting. So now he says it was rigged and James snuffed him and picked the winner. It was nice to see that old school way YouTube was with the star ratings. Yeah, but how does he know that James snuffed him? Maybe the Happy Nerd, he liked it because it was different from just angry. I haven't seen the videos, so. But maybe it's a funnier video. Maybe it's a funnier video. Jedi, I remember. I remember Jedi. I remember Jedi. Spoony one, yeah. I remember him. I remember playing Bold Art. That's crazy that James hit, what, 25,000 at that point, and now it's in the millions? Crazy. But how did you get featured over other people? That's what I'm wondering. overnight from 200 views to 10,000 views. Subscriber went from 200, 11,000 subscribers. Now, how is that overnight? That just confuses me. I don't understand that. I just understand, like, how did he get... Just how did he get sponsored? How did he get... How did that happen? How did that many people in overnight realize... It's still confusing to me. And I didn't think the videos were that great either. That's the thing. Been on YouTube for 3-4 months. So the Mario review got featured. Want to see what else? But with the Super Mario Brothers 2. I just because he's not vulgar, he's not cursing, and YouTube likes that because it showed advertisers. Well, I don't know if advertisers, but maybe a little bit. Just well, I mean, I guess to be fair, he didn't really do anything vicious to deserve the hate. To be fair, but it's like so. To be fair on that. I still don't get how he got featured though, compared to all those other people. I didn't. I'm guessing because he didn't curse, because he had special effect stuff in it, so people seemed like they were a higher production value, seemed like more sophisticated. You see, like they did their special effect and stuff in there. I guess that's why. No, I get why he continued to do it because it was a smart business decision. I get that. It was a smart business decision. Must review got featured. Yeah, James never got featured. And he got featured twice. See, that'd be the biggest question: is what got him? Who were the ones that got him featured? Granted, this is his side of the story, so I never know what's true, what's not true. Yeah, I know people. I remember back in the day, people were thinking it was sock puppet accounts, and that most of the subs were fake. I didn't copy you on purpose. I thought you. I thought you were copying him for that out nerd the nerd thing. So that was on purpose. And again, that's why you said certain lines, certain phrases exactly like him, because you wanted to copy him for this out nerd the nerd thing. I thought that's what you had said. I don't know. That doesn't sound like James at all. That so he says that he posted an email to James, and James said, "You need to acknowledge me that I was your inspiration." And then he posted the guy's email online. I don't know, that one. Unless this is Mike Matei. It might have been Mike Matei who did it. Oh, I bet that's what it was. It was Mike Matei, I bet, who did it. Mike Matei made a statement about the email in the comments of this article. First, Chris Boris sent James the email. Then he posted the Irate Gamer TMNT review, which shamelessly plagiarized the AVGN TMNT review. Mike released the email response. Hey, Mike Matei here. I know he's talking, but this is the response from Mike Matei. Let me pause. I just says he talked about that. He sent an email to James. First off, He's wrong in saying that James released it. Mike Matei released it, not James. So already he's construing the facts. It was Mike Matei released it. Granted, you may say they're part of the same envelope, but Mike Matei was running Cinemassacre. James was doing the nerd, doing all stuff, but Mike Matei was running behind the scenes. So the fact he hasn't mentioned Mike Matei, that's a bit disingenuous. You say the same ball, but he only mentions James. He doesn't mention Mike Matei because if he just mentioned James, oh my God, how could James do this? Well, Mike Matei had a hand in it. So why doesn't James mention Mike Matei? And then Mike Matei says this. This is the email that Chris Bors had written. Hello, James. I'm not sure if you know me, but my name is Chris Bors. I do the Irate Gamer videos on YouTube. I feel compelled to finally write you since my videos are starting to get popular on YouTube. Tons of people compare my quality work to yours. I don't know if you'll end up reading this because you probably get tons of emails in a day. I know mine will be swimming in the sea of them, but I'm going to write you anyway. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I've been a fan of your videos ever since I saw your Ninja Turtles game review around last year, and I gotta say it was very inspiring. If I hardly got any sleep that night because I had hundreds of new ideas flowing through my mind of what I could do with this intriguing thing you started. Due to my career, I had to tuck them away for a few months until I could get some spare time to record them. Well, why don't you mention the out-nerd the nerd thing? Okay. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever seen my reviews or ever heard of me, or heck, even liked me for that matter, but I just wanted to take some time out of my busy schedule to let you know I respect your work and try to do my hardest to not copy your material. Although in my earlier reviews I will admit that I accidentally used some of your well-known made-up words in my review, I only found this out because people were telling me I did. I felt really bad about it and still do because the last thing I want to do is steal your catchphrases. Since then, I made a point to watch all your reviews again and to make sure not to make that same blunder. So if I ended up causing any negative feelings because of it, my apologies. But hey, just wanted to email you and let you know that I respect your work and clear the air of any hard feelings if there are any, because I'm just doing this stuff for fun and I know you are too. So thanks for everything. I should mention, since day one I thought it would be neat to do a dual review with you. I think that's the wrong spelling of dual. Anyway. But I'm still trying to figure out how getting both worlds to collide would work. Maybe one day. Thanks again, my friend. I'm glad to see you're doing so well. James forwarded me that email to see what I thought. I read it, didn't think much of it. I always had felt imitations to series form flowery, so it was totally fine with Bors and his videos, up to the point that is. My issue with him came shortly after. Please reread and pay careful attention to this part of the Bors letter. I accidentally used some of your well-known made-up words in my review. I only found out this because people told me. I really felt bad about it. Last thing I want to do is steal your catchphrases. Since then, I made a point to watch all your reviews again and make sure not to make that same blunder. Shortly after this email, Chris Bors released his TMNT video September 10th, 2010, which was the biggest example of Chris Bors plagiarizing James' words to date. I was pissed. Bors had just said he was going to stop copying James. He did it again. This totally showed that he didn't give a shit about what he said to James, was going to keep copying him in an attempt to ride the wave of the nerd's popularity. That's why I decided to post Chris Bors' letter online. I put it on Screw Attack Forum so that people could see the type of person Chris Bors was. A guy that doesn't live up to his words. James is my friend. I don't want to see him get plagiarized. I'm still very glad I posted the letter online and exposed Bors for what he is. A plagiarist. So, listen, this Chris Bors guy seems like a nice guy. But why would you say, I'm not going to copy you, and then you upload the review that is the most similar to James's work? Why does he say that in the video? Why does he not say that during this? The context of it. He says James put it up. No, James sent the email to Mike. Hey, what do you think? Oh, it seems fine. Hey, since Similar, meaning you do game reviews, you get mad, you say curse words. But then he uploaded the Ninja Turtle, and it was like almost the same video. This is disingenuous how Chris Boers is framing this. He's making it seem more like a victim. He doesn't mention Mike Matei, which maybe that would not care. Maybe people would feel the same way. And believe me, they're far from perfect too. It's funny because James, look what happened with the movie reviews, the horror month, and plagiarism. So maybe it all comes full circle. So James and Mike Matei, I like those guys. I like Mike Matei. He's far from perfect. He's done some stupid stuff too. So I give crap to him as well. But Chris Boer's not an angel either. It's a bit disingenuous what he's saying. 21 minutes, 32 seconds in, unpause, now. He's just saying here's a guy, Mike Matei. You said you were not going to copy him, then you released a video that was exceptionally copying him. I just read the email. You upload the Timothy review that was a carbon copy. So now it's being a victim of, because I got this success, I'm a threat. He viewed me as a threat. Because you're a bit disingenuous, that's why. No, it wasn't. The TMNT review. Ninja Turtle. Is he going to mention the TMNT review? Let's see that. Let's see if he mentions the TMNT review. We'll see if that goes. He mentions Tetris. '55th most subscribed of all time. But you didn't do your own thing. That's the problem. The bit of him, this is what people subscribe for, so I gotta keep doing the same bit. That, probably the most sense he made. Yeah, James said, well, he doesn't acknowledge my existence, so I won't acknowledge his. Because you could have done a video saying, listen, I know I did a Ninja Turtle review that was almost a carbon copy of yours. And I sent an email saying I wouldn't do it. But then I did it and worse so. So it's hard to take anything you say. Hey, Irate Gamer. Now he's saying, well, how come I never saw a Let's Play on his channel before PewDiePie came along? Was James getting mad at RMA21? Was James getting mad at Sound Rob or Play Bogart? No, because they weren't copying him. It's not about doing angry game reviews? Is the fact you was using the same catchphrases and similar type of special effects and similar type of skits? If there was a copy, you were the copy. Yeah, you sure is not adding up. Bring up the TMNT review. Bring up the TMNT review. He keeps saying James. He doesn't mention my Mate, who was running Cinemassacre, and he's the one that posted the email. His Mario 2... Now he's saying, well, my Mario 2, James did his Mario 3 review, is so similar to mine. Well, first off, they're two very different games, so I don't know how the reviews are similar when they're two very different games or two different gameplays, two different worlds, but if you say so. So James, in a video, was going to do Rob the Robot. And then 3-4 days later, he had a Rob the Robot review. But don't you think that's a bit weird in timing? That as soon as James announces it, 3-4 days later, you upload your review? Okay, fine. Months ago, you had yourself strangling Rob the Robot, meaning eventually one day I'm going to do that. Just like anytime, eventually one day you're going to do this game and that game. Okay, you have this one moment where you're strangling, which you can recreate easily anytime. The point is that, I don't capitalize on James. I don't upload this now and beat him to the punch. And again, I'm not even the biggest. I've said a lot of crap about James's stuff as of late. His Angry Video Game Nerd movie is awful, is terrible. It's a crap movie. When he got with those other guys, and they started going into rental reviews and all this stuff, and that podcast that was a failure, that was terrible stuff. His reviews have gone downhill. The plagiarism with the Monster Madness. So you're not the only. It's not like James has. I don't know how long ago this video was. To be fair, this might have been years ago before all that. But James is taking his hits too. Deservedly so. But you're making yourself out to be a victim as well, as if you've done absolutely nothing wrong, everything's perfectly fine. And at the end of the day, it's a matter of taste. And for me, I've never been a fan of this guy. I did personally, maybe he's a nice guy. He's a polite guy. Give credit to that. Give credit to that. But I don't think he's funny. He's talented with special effects. I'll give you that. Technical wise, with effects work to make these higher profile videos. To give credit is due. But his personality, his delivery of dialogue, I just don't think he's that funny. Him being irate seems very forced and fake. Now he's explaining how he did this spoof of James, and he's like, "That's what a spoof is." And he had this kind of look in his face, like, as if, "Yeah, that's why I did it." But I don't think James has ever tried to spoof the irate gamer. He says these emails from these haters wanting to know things because time goes on and people start disliking James for X, Y, and Z reasons. Then they look back in the past and is the enemy of my enemy my friend and all that stuff. Plus, people were not there back in the day. They weren't there when this stuff was transpiring. Facts get altered. Facts get twisted around. I didn't like when he was talking about the... He did not bring up the TMNT review. We're got 5 minutes left. He did not bring the time when he did the email, the details what the email was. He didn't bring up the Mike Batey name on it. So it's disingenuous. I'm sorry. Anything this guy says, I can't buy into it because he's being disingenuous when it's supposed to be this big tell-all thing. And it's became public knowledge that Mike Batey released it. Because Mike Batey even mentioned it. He explained it. I don't hate this guy, but I do think he's disingenuous. I do think he's very disingenuous. He makes comparisons that make no sense. Like the Let's Play, he would do Let's Plays. No one said that he was copying PewDiePie. Yeah, because number one, it was completely different with the James and Mike Mondays. It was a completely different take on it. It was two guys in the same room playing games, having this banter back and forth. It wasn't him in a corner screen. And he wasn't stealing catchphrases like "IMG didn't know." Like, trying to talk like PewDiePie, trying to mimic him. check here more quick on something. I mean, hey, he's 172,000 subscribers. I will never, ever get that, ever. But so credit to him for doing that. But, you know, it is what it is. 5 months ago, an Irate Gamer Blu-ray Kickstarter. Irate Gamer Kickstarter Blu-ray Season 1 through 6 set last call 4 months ago. Yeah, take that for you will. I did an interview with the Skylanders guy, and then lo and behold, he's got a poster of it right in the back. When he said doing the same thing I do, meaning doing Angry Video Game reviews as well, folks. That's why he wasn't mad at Silent Rob. He wasn't mad at Army 21. He didn't do anything to any of these guys. Spoony 1. Pat the NES Punk, who was on his videos from time to time. Some other collabs that he has done. So, yeah, I think the guy's being disingenuous. He never talked about that TMT review. That was, he sent the email and then, boom, released something that was just a carbon copy of AVGN. He didn't release that, he didn't talk about it, he didn't mention it, didn't bring it up, didn't bring up my Matei. He said it was James that did it, which, again, being a bit disingenuous. So, yeah, I think the guy, he has a polite stature about him, but I think he's very disingenuous, and my feelings of him are the same. Trust me, James is far from perfect. My Matei is far from perfect. But neither is this guy. And those two are a lot more entertaining than this guy. With that said, thanks for watching. Later.